Hello. So today I'm going to be comparing two musical cultures, Indonesian gamelan and Levantine slash Arab music traditions. These cultures come from completely different regions, Southeast Asia and the Eastern Mediterranean, but they both have very deep musical identities. So this is the area where the Levantine is located, on the Mediterranean in West Asia. And we're going to go over some common instruments. So on the Levantine side, some common instruments include the oud, the kanun, ney, darbuka, rake, and some melodic strings like violin and bouzouki. In gamelan ensembles, we mostly see bronze metallophones, gongs like aging, kempul, kenong, kendang drums, and softer instruments like the suling flute and rebab. So the Levantine sound world is built on makam, a series or a system of melodic modes that uses microtones and encourages heavy ornamentation and expressive melodic shaping. It often feels emotional, improvisatory, and very personal. Gamelan, on the other hand, creates more of like a shimmering, layered sound. They use tuning systems, the Slendro, a 5 note, and Pelog, a 7 note tuning system. And they're unique to each ensemble, meaning instruments are tuned as a set and they can't just be swapped between groups. Um, Gamelan music feels cyclical, interwoven, and meditative. Um, Despite differences, though, both traditions use non-Western tuning systems, which means their scales and pitch relationships differ from Western and classical music. So rhythm is one of the strongest points of contrast. Um, Levantine music uses the ikats, which is rhythmic cycles such as maksum, samai, and malfuf. And these cycles support a lot of improvisation, especially for like singers and melodic players. Um, so musicians may stretch phrases or ornament freely while staying grounded in the underlying rhythm. Gamelan rhythm, on the other hand, is more structured and communal. It uses call-atomic structure where gongs mark the timing of the cycles. Um, Instruments play interlocking patterns known as kotakan that create a shared repeating texture. And gamelan feels more circular and ritualistic, whereas Levantine phrasing feels more um, expressive. So in the Levant, music accompanies weddings, social gatherings, storytelling traditions, folk dances like debke, and even political expression. Um, there's a strong like cafe and community music culture where musicians perform improvisations and song rooted in local identity. Gamelan is tied to temple ceremonies, wayang theater, community rituals, and festivals in Indonesia. And it often has a spiritual or communal purpose, emphasizing group identity. Um, Both traditions strengthen bonds, but in different cultural contexts. So Levantine music centers personal expression and daily social life, while gamelan emphasizes ritual, ceremony, and collective participation. So when it comes to philosophical approaches around music, Levantine music revolves around tarab, a concept that's related to musical ecstasy or emotional transport. Performers aim to move the audience emotionally, often through improvisation and expressive ornamentation. and individual musicianship is highly valued. Uh, Gamelan philosophy is almost the opposite. It emphasizes collective unity, balance, and harmony, and no single musician is meant to stand out. Instead, the ensemble creates one shared musical breath. These contrasting philosophies kind of show how each tradition's worldview shapes its musical practice. Um, some key similarities, even though they sound different, these two traditions do have some meaningful similarities. Both have deep cultural roots and serve as expressions of local identity. Both use cyclical rhythmic systems, even though they are in different forms. Both rely on non-Western tuning systems. And most importantly, both balance structure with creativity um, through Makam improvisation in Levantine music and through interlocking patterns in Gamelan. Um, some key differences. Uh, Gamelan prioritizes ensemble unity, ritual purpose, and fixed tuning. Levantine music prioritizes emotional storytelling, individual expression, and flexible improvisation. In Gamelan, the tuning of instruments is set permanently. You can't mix instruments from different sets. In Levantine traditions, musicians improvise freely within the rules of Makam, and vocals differ too. Gamelan voice blends within the ensemble, while Levantine singing is soloistic and expressive. Um, so yeah, for our conclusion, musical cultures develop in ways that reflect local histories, values, and ways of being. Uh, Gamelan and Levantine music are an excellent example of this. One is rooted in communal ritual and layered in ensemble sound, and the other is in emotional storytelling and improvisation. When we compare them, we can appreciate the diversity, but also, um, I guess, the human drive to express identity and emotion through music. So this comparison helps us see both uniqueness and shared humanity. And then here are my sources. Thank you.